Happy day, students. I hope you are all fit and fine. Today, we are going to learn an interesting topic from class 8, grammar. We will be looking at the topics in worksheet 1 from the grammar book. The topics are revise, different types of tenses, different ways to express future time, word web with scientific inquiry. So let's look at the three tenses, the three important tenses. Tenses are divided into past tense, present tense, and future tense. The actions that take place in the past, that is, the actions which have already taken place, come under past tense. The actions which are happening now are called as present tense, and the actions which would happen later on are called as future tense. For example, I went to school. You are talking about an incident which has already happened, an event which has already happened. So that comes under past tense. I am teaching you, or I am explaining the slide. So this is happening now. So it comes under present tense. I will visit my uncle tomorrow. You're talking about an event which may take place later on, so that comes under future tense. So always remember, tenses are divided into past, present, and future. What does tense do? Tense shows time. Tense shows us the time when the incident or event takes place. If it has already taken place, as we discussed, it's past tense. If the event is happening now, it is present tense. And if the event is going to happen later on, it is future tense. So tense shows time. Now, what are the different types of tenses? Just look at this table. Tenses, as we discussed, are divided into past, present, and future. They are further divided into simple past, past continuous, past perfect, and perfect continuous. Similarly, simple present, present continuous, present perfect, and perfect continuous. So like this, if you see, all the three major tenses are divided into simple, continuous, perfect, and perfect continuous. So when we look at simple past, let's look at this example. I studied English yesterday. So we are talking about an action which has taken place in the past, and we are using the past tense of the verb study. The past tense of the verb study is studied. Okay, so it is simple past. The same sentence when you have to say in present tense, you will say, I study English. So the verb study remains the same here. And when you're converting that into future tense, you will say, I will study English. So it's something that will happen later on. Coming to continuous tenses, I was studying English, which is your past continuous. So study plus ing form. We all know that ing form is for the continuous tenses. We are just revising the tenses or the topic concept tenses which you have already learned in your grade 5, 6 and 7. So we know for continuous tenses, we have the verb base verb form plus ing, which gives you the continuous tense. So I was studying English becomes your past continuous. I am studying English becomes your present continuous. And I will be studying English becomes your future continuous. Now, when you look at the perfect sentences, I had studied English. We all know that for perfect tenses, we add had or have, depending on the tense that we are using. So for past perfect, we use I had studied English. The same sentence for present perfect is I have studied English. And the same sentence for future perfect is I will have studied English. So understand the difference here. And the last classification is perfect continuous, where the past perfect continuous is I had been studying English. The same for present perfect continuous is I have been studying English. And the future perfect continuous will be I will have been studying English. So you can see here we have added had been for past perfect continuous, have been for present perfect continuous, and will have been for future perfect continuous. So if you see, had studied becomes had been studied for continuous tense. Have studied becomes have been studying for present perfect continuous, and the same will have studied is converted into will have been studied for future perfect continuous. So this table clearly explains about how the three major tenses past, present and future are further divided into simple tense, continuous tense, perfect tense and perfect continuous. This gives us an idea. So this revises the topic tenses. Now, when we look at future tense, the future forms are then further divided into will, be going to, or present simple. So if you look at will are just predictions. We may think about something that will happen. Okay, we are not sure about it. Predictions are when you're not sure about something, you can just assume things. So these are predictions. He will be a good doctor. You're assuming it. You're not sure whether he will definitely be a doctor or whether he'll definitely be a good doctor, but you're saying he will be a good doctor. I believe that they will win this match. So it's a prediction. So predictions, you will use will. Okay. Instant decisions. While talking, when you're taking instant decisions, you will say, we don't have sugar. I will buy them. Okay. We don't have chocolates. I will buy some. So when you're taking decisions instantly, you can use will. Promises and refusals. When you do promises and when you do refusals, both way you can use will. For example, I will help you, but I won't lend you any money. So you are making a promise there as well as putting a condition. So in such cases also you can use will. Offers. I'll carry your bag. You're offering someone to help. So you will say, I'll carry your bag. Shall I carry your bag? So both ways you can use will. For suggestions. Shall we eat today? Shall we eat out today? Okay. And for requests. Will you open the door, please? So remember, will is used for predictions, that is assumptions, instant decisions, promises and refusals, offers, suggestions, and requests. So all these different types of sentences can be written by using the word will. Be going to. This is also a future form. So what is the condition here? They are also predictions, but we see the present evidence, or we see something in present. That's why we are doing the prediction. Here it may happen is what we are thinking, but here we have present evidence, present proof. Slow down. We are going to have an accident. So you know, if you don't do something now, it's going to land you into some problem later on. It may be immediate, it may be sometime later. So in such conditions, when you see present proof, present evidence, you can use be going to. Slow down, we are going to have an accident. Look at the clouds, it's going to rain. So when you're looking at the clouds, it's present tense. But you're talking about it, that when you look at the clouds and you find they are black, you know it's going to rain soon. So in such cases, when you see something in the present and predict the future, here you will be using be going to. Decisions taken before now, or intentions or plans. Decisions where you have some intentions or decisions where you have plans, you can use be going to. For example, are you going to watch the game tonight? When you talk about cricket, when you talk about any game, or when you talk about a movie, when you talk about an outing, when you are asking someone, are you planning to watch the game tonight? Or are you going to watch the movie tonight? Are you going out with him tonight? So something that talks about intentions and plans, you can use going to. Present continuous. It's plans or arrangements that have been made. For example, I'm flying to New York tomorrow morning. So you know it is a plan which is already done, but it will happen later on. It's not a plan that you're planning to do it now. It's a plan that will happen sometime soon or later. So I'm flying to New York tomorrow morning. So it's a plan which will happen the next day. I'm seeing the dentist at 6. So if you're talking about, meeting the dentist in the afternoon and you have an appointment at 6, you will say, I'm planning to see the dentist at 6. We are getting married next week. Okay, so these are just examples which you have a certain plan in hand, but that would happen sometime later or sooner. So there you can use present continuous tenses. Now present simple. Here it is the timetabled events, scheduled events. The train leaves at 4 o'clock. So this is a schedule which happens daily. So it's present simple where you say the train leaves at 4 o'clock. Why I'm saying it's a present simple but future form? Because though you're talking about an action which leaves is present simple tense, leaves. That is your base form is leave plus S, leaves. But every day it happens. So every day it's a future form also. Hence we are saying the train leaves at 4 o'clock. The exams start next week. So as I said, it's a scheduled event, timetabled event. So in such cases where you have a scheduled event, you can use simple present but in the future tense. Future time clauses when, as soon as, until, etc. I'll retire when I'm 70. Okay, so here you are talking about something which would happen later on, a future time that you're discussing, but you're using as soon as or until. You're giving a time period. So I will retire when I'm 70. So 70 is a time period that you're giving. Call me as soon as you arrive. So you're again having a condition here. You're again having a time clause here as soon as you arrive. So these things can be used when you have a time clause there. May or might. You use may or might to talk about future possibility. Okay, there's a possibility and when you talk about it, you use may or might. I might go to the party tomorrow. I'm not sure. So you have a plan, but you're not sure about it. So it's a possibility. So there you use might. Temperature might go up next week. So you think that it's very hot now, probably next week it's going to be really, really bad. So you talk about it as a possibility. So temperatures may go up next week. To understand children, future forms can be used where you can use, words like will, be, going to, present simple tenses. In that also I have told you the different kinds of classifications that might happen. So it would depend upon the sentence and the time or possibility, predictions. It would depend upon the kind of sentence and accordingly we will use the future time. Now let's look at what is a word web. A word web is a web of words connected to the central word, giving its meaning, synonyms or examples. So you have the central word, your target word here. Okay, and when you look at the other words which are there surrounding it, it might be a synonym, it might be an antonym, it might be other information about the word, it might be description about the word, functions the word does, category the word comes under. Okay, it may have its parts and meanings. So word web is nothing but it is a web of words. This is a web of words. You see a spider, right? How the spider connects web, Similarly, we have these connections here, which is connected with the central word, the target word. So this may have anything related to the central word. So when you have antonyms, synonyms, parts of speech, meaning, functions, descriptions, so these will be connected to this target word. Look at the example I've given here. School. School is the center word. So what are the different things you can relate to school? Now when we talk about school, what we can relate is teacher. Teacher is related to the school, chair, classroom, pupils, board, lesson, desk, playground, eatery. So here you have these many words that are linked with school. You may have few more words like examination, chalk, blackboard, bell, right? You have so books. You have so many things that you can relate it to a central word given here. Word web is actually a very good or very creative kind of game or an activity which you can do with your family members or friends when you're really bored and you want to do something where there is a learning as well as you have a fun activity. So you can always sit in a group and come up with a central word and you can ask others to find out words that are related to the central words and you'll be so surprised to see so many different creative words come get connected to the central word. You may not even have thought about it, but so many words that is called as creativity and innovation and each of us think in a different way, so it's going to be really unique. So you can try this word web wherein you can connect to the given word or the central word all the other words which are related to it, which can be a synonym, antonym, it can be a function of that word or it can be something related to the word, like I have given here. So this is the example of a word web. Thank you children. I hope you have understood the different kinds of tenses and what tenses do and how we can use future time and the word web. Thank you for your patience children. Thank you.